Human teeth in sausages, hair-covered meat in cafeterias, something that looks like an eyeball in a ham, and a steak company that bought 4,000 corpses from hospitals. These aren't horror stories, they're news reports from China in 2025, and they might be connected. Yeah, I'm just a panda, and even I can't unsee this. Look, I eat bamboo. I don't have to worry about whether my lunch used to be someone. But millions of people in China, they're asking that question right now. Every incident I'm about to show you was filmed, posted online, and deleted faster than you can say food safety violation. So today we're connecting dots the CCP really doesn't want connected. Because the question isn't just what are we eating, it's who. October 19th, 2025. A woman in Jilin province is having a normal day. She opens a sausage, takes a bite, and finds 3 human teeth. Not a bone fragment, not a weird piece of cartilage, 3 human teeth. She posts online, "What kind of meat are we eating?" And the internet loses its mind. But here's where it gets weird. Chinese netizens start digging, because that's what they do when the government won't, and they discover that Dalian Horrifying Biotechnology, a company that makes human body specimens for museums, also holds food business licenses and sells pre-packaged food products. Same company, same registration, bodies for museums, sausages for dinner. What could go wrong? Oh, and it gets better. Days earlier in Guangdong, another woman found 2 connected teeth in a dumpling, like still attached to each other. In Guangxi, someone's fishing around in their bone soup and pulls out a titanium surgical screw, the kind doctors put in human spines, not pig bones. So we still calling this pork? Because I'm a panda and even I know pigs don't have titanium implants. Now, before you think I'm making this up, and trust me, I wish I was, let me tell you what broke in August 2024. Chinese media uncovered that Shanxi Aorui Biotech, and get this, it's owned by the China National Nuclear Corporation, the nuclear people, bought over 4,000 corpses from hospitals and funeral homes. 4,000 bodies. The official story? They were processing them into bone graft materials for medical implants. Okay, fine, bones accounted for. But here's the thing nobody wants to answer. What happened to all the flesh and skin? Official documents say some were incinerated, some were dumped, and a whole lot were just unaccounted for. So naturally, the internet asked, if the bones became implants, where did the meat go? And you know what happened? Deleted. Everywhere. Censors went into overdrive scrubbing that question off the Chinese internet, which, if you know anything about China, means they hit a nerve. A big one. In November last year, a worker at Weigao Industrial Park in Shandong was having lunch at the company cafeteria. He looked down at his plate and saw a chunk of meat skin covered in thick, black hair. Now, I'm a panda, I'm covered in hair, but even I know that's not normal for lunch meat. He filmed it and posted it on TikTok. Comments start flooding in. That's not pig hair, that looks like human scalp. 15,000 comments later, video's gone, vanished. The company's response, oh, that's just pig skin. And then they threw it in the trash. No testing, no investigation, just straight into the garbage. You know what's funny? When you actually have pig skin and people think it's human, you test it to prove them wrong. You don't throw away the evidence unless you already know what it is. All right, let's go back to that Dalian company for a second. Horrifying Biotechnology. This isn't just some plastination lab in a basement. Business filings show they've got subsidiaries in Shenyang, Chengdu, Kunshan, all authorized to sell pre-packaged food. Let me say that again. A company that preserves human corpses for museum exhibits also sells food products. We pandas do have limits too. Now here's the dark history nobody wants to remember. This is the same Dalian city that was run by Bo Xilai. Yeah, that Bo Xilai, the CCP official accused of launching the organ harvesting program against Falun Gong practitioners. His wife, Gu Kailai, had direct business ties to these body companies. So when people online say this feels connected, they're not being conspiracy theorists. They're remembering documented history. The kind of history Beijing has spent a lot of money trying to make people forget. Okay. Just a few months ago, a woman opens a shuanghui ham sausage, and shuanghui is like the McDonald's of Chinese meat, biggest brand in the country, and she finds what she describes as an eye-like object staring back at her. Still within the expiration date, by the way. She films it, posts it, says, "I can't eat this." Yeah, I'm with her on that. And shuanghui customer service gives the classic response, "We've sent someone to investigate." Then, of course, nothing, silence. But here's the timing that freaked everyone out. This happened right after the corpse trafficking scandal broke nationwide, so online users immediately connected the dots. They used the bones for medical grafts. So where did the meat go? Dark question, I know. But you know what? Nobody from the government or the company wanted to answer it. Look, one tooth in a sausage, that could be an accident. A screw in soup, maybe it's a bad day. But teeth, screws, hair, and eye-like objects all showing up across different provinces, different cities, different brands, while state-owned companies are buying corpses by the thousands? That's no coincidence, folks. That's signals from a system. And here's how you know it's real. Every single time someone posts evidence, it gets deleted. Every time people ask questions, officials say under investigation, and then nothing. Do you know what that means in China? If it's true, it disappears. The truth doesn't get investigated in China, it gets censored. Maybe these cases aren't all connected. Maybe it's bad luck, bad factories, bad hygiene. But maybe China's corpse economy has quietly merged with its food chain. And that's the part Beijing doesn't want anyone to talk about. Because once people start asking who's behind the meat, they might realize it's not just corruption on the table, it's humanity. This isn't about food anymore. It's about what's left of conscience in a system that treats people and bodies as resources. But hey, what do I know? You tell me. I'm just a panda. Click those like and subscribe buttons. Then click this next video for more awesome panda reports.